Welcome Life Top 5. It is a matter of when, not if, we will see another global outbreak of a deadly disease. Public health officials say there is reasonable probability a worldwide outbreak of a fast-moving pathogen could occur within the next 15 years. It has been nearly a century since the 1918 Spanish flu claimed millions of lives. The widespread disease infected over 500 million people and caused tens of millions of deaths. Despite the major advances in medicine and technology during the last century, we are not safe from experiencing a similar outbreak today. Here are 10 reasons we are on the brink of another deadly pandemic. Top 5 reasons the next pandemic is on the horizon. Number 5. Research risks. In 2014, American scientists created a virus very similar to the 1918 Spanish flu. Using a technique called reverse genetics, researchers at the University of Wisconsin-Madison manufactured the virus from fragments of wild bird flu strains. They also mutated the virus to make it airborne, a characteristic of the most dangerous deadly diseases. Scientists in support of the study claim that recreating the dangerous virus is an essential part of understanding the risk it poses to the public. But many scientists are against these experiments, arguing that the act of creating these viruses poses a threat to the human population. Even in the highest security labs, creating a dangerous pathogen is a risky activity. Critics of this practice state there is little to no evidence that these experiments actually help save lives, though they definitely jeopardize them. An epidemiology professor at Harvard School of Public Health warned that if a dangerous virus escaped or was intentionally released from a lab, it could cause a catastrophic pandemic. Number 4. World Health Organization response. When the next highly contagious and fast-spreading disease starts moving across the globe, preparedness will determine the number of lives lost. People need to be aware of a threat in order to take precautionary measures. The World Health Organization is the main watchdog for global health, and they are responsible for sounding the alarm during an outbreak. But the WHO cannot be trusted to do this in a timely manner. The recent Ebola outbreak began in early 2014. The WHO did not declare a public health emergency until August of that year. It was 5 months after Guinea and Liberia started experiencing outbreaks. A panel of independent global health experts stated that the delay caused needless suffering and death. The WHO was heavily criticized for their slow response during the Ebola outbreak. They vowed to make improvements so that their response time and effectiveness would be better in the future. We will have to hope this is true, because if they are slow to identify the next pandemic, the damage will be done by the time they apologize for their procrastination. Number 3. Climate change. Vector-borne diseases are illnesses transmitted to humans by fleas, ticks, mosquitoes, or any other organism. As climate change warms the globe, the occurrence of these diseases as well as the geographical range of cases has increased. Malaria, Zika, and dengue are just a few of many lethal viruses transmitted by mosquitoes, with malaria being the deadliest. Mosquitoes thrive in warm climates. Global warming can cause mosquito populations to spread geographically as more areas become hospitable to the disease-carrying insects. Climate change also creates longer warm seasons for mosquitoes to breed, generating more vessels capable of transmitting infections to humans. Fleas and ticks also thrive in warm climates and transmit a number of dangerous diseases, including Congo Crimean hemorrhagic fever, typhus, and Lyme disease. Number 2. Bioterrorism. The next pandemic could be the result of an intentional attack. Bill Gates, one of the richest men in the world, has spent the last 20 years funding a global health campaign. Earlier this year, he spoke at a security conference in Munich. Gates warned that bioterrorism, the intentional release of viruses or germs, could be responsible for killing millions of people. The threat of bioterrorism has increased during the past 5 years. Changes in molecular biology have made the development of biological weapons easier and more accessible. A terrorist now has the ability to use genetic engineering to synthesize smallpox or create a highly contagious and lethal version of the flu. Intelligence groups report that ISIS has been working on bioweapons at their Syria and Iraq bases. Number 1 Current pandemic potential. The H7N9 bird flu virus was first seen in humans in 2013, when 2 Chinese citizens died after contacting the disease. China has seen annual outbreaks since then, and recently experienced its 5th wave of H7N9 human infections. The 5th wave, which was marked as beginning in October 2016, has been the worst by far. There were more cases than the other 4 waves combined, and it covered the largest geographical area. The mortality rate of confirmed H7N9 cases is around 40%. As of October 25, 2017, there have been a total of 1,622 confirmed H7N9 cases, with 619 resulting in death. H7N9 is ranked by the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention as the flu strain with the greatest potential to cause a pandemic. So far, human infections of H7N9 have largely been attributed to the live poultry markets in China. But the virus is continuing to mutate, and could soon pose a much larger risk through human-to-human transmission. Last year, a study was done on a highly pathogenic strain of H7N9. Ferrets, the preferred animal model for testing transmissibility of the flu virus in humans, were infected with the virus. Healthy ferrets and infected ferrets were placed in separate cages next to each other. The virus spread easily, killing 2 out of 3 healthy ferrets. The study proved that the virus could be transmitted through airborne respiratory droplets, such as those that occur during coughing and sneezing. Based on the drastic mutations seen in H7N9 over the last year, the next wave of the virus could very well be highly contagious between humans, and just as deadly. Currently, there is no effective vaccine for the latest H7N9 strains.